Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, all. So in the yesterday demo session, just I was briefing you about Python, who can learn Python, how it was built, Python real-time applications, Python usage, Python features. Right. So Python is a general purpose programming. Just I'll take 2 minutes what we have discussed. It's a general purpose programming. Any kind of applications we can develop, multi-programming features we see. What all the features we see, different other programmings, all those features we see in Python. High level language, it's easily understandable, portable, and it's machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Interpreted right, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User friendly programming or programmer friendly programming language, which provides simple syntaxes which looks like normal English statements. So just observe this point. There are two types of languages, low-level languages and high-level languages. Low-level languages like assembly level or machine level, they are not human understandable, they are not portable, and they are machine dependent. They can run on all the hardware, they cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating system. But high-level languages like Python, they are human understandable, they are portable, and machine independent. They can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Python has got procedural-oriented programming features like C language. It has got object-oriented programming features like C++, Java. It has got scripting features like shell script. It has got like modular programming features like Modular 3. 89,300 modules Python provides for various domains, right? Means so just like C language, that's like Java, like shell script, or like Modular 3. Yes, we can write different types of applications using Python, right? Yes. So 89,000 modules, 89,300 modules for different environments, right? Using which we can perform the operations, right? See, in 2010, Java is mostly preferred, where Python is very less used, but 10 years later, from 2020 onwards, the usage of Python has increased a lot. And okay, what kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Like web applications. At a rapid speed, you can develop web applications using Python, using framework like Django framework. Has got its own database like SQLite 3, has got its own application server. And for automation applications, like using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT or DevOps, for all these three, the implementation language is Python, where we code, right? Yes. And for big data applications, right? Like especially like Spark with Python, PySpark, right? And for GUI animations, for scientific applications, we have got CP module. For numerical analysis, we have got NumPy. For numerical analysis, we have got what? NumPy. And for gaming or game development, Pygame, Pycore, and PySwine. And for scheduling tasks, for test cases, for software development, for business applications, for database applications, for networking applications, we have got separate module called like Twisted Python. For web scraping, for audio and video applications, like C Play or Team Player are some examples which already got created by using Python, developed, right? Embedded application, Raspberry Pi, a famous embedded application which uses Python script for CAD applications or 3D CAD applications, for computer vision, for data analysis, for desktop applications, right? Yes. And who are using Python today? Topmost applications built using Python. Google using Python for its web search system. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yahoo using Python. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Instagram, right? Built using Python. Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, Dropbox, they are built using Python. Netflix using Python for its security automation and subscription related things. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script. BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. iRobot for military and commercial applications. And for hardware testing, companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these they use Python for hardware testing. And reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Very less coding we see in Python, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming. Right? Simple syntaxes given by Python, interactive mode given by Python, multi-programming features, and wide varieties of applications we can see, right? Many built-in modules. Just now we discussed about the different types of applications. Many built-in modules, 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing, right? Yes. If you see the sample coding of Python, how it looks, right? Just if you see, just uh, Python comparison with other programming, right? Yes. Now, I discussed like Python comparison with other programming. Python comparison with other programming, right? So just I'll take a task, I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages. I'll write the code in different programming languages. You can just compare how simple the Python statements as compared with other programmings, right? Yes, the task is right. Accepting two values from the user keyboard, right? User keyboard and performing accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition, right? Okay. First, I'll write using Java. Later, I'll show you in Python. You can just compare how simple the Python statements using Java, right? Yes, using Java. Hmm. Import java.io.star. Import java.io.star. Class sample. Public static void main. Public static void main like string aux. IO exception. Input stream reader. Input stream reader ISR equal to new input stream reader. System.in buffered reader. Buffer reader, right? BR equal to new buffered reader. New buffered reader. ISR, right? Yes. Input stream reader. New input stream reader. Buffer reader equal to new buffer reader. System.out.println. 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 Enter the first number. Enter the first number, right? So whatever number you're entering by default are taken as a string, string, right? S1. BR dot read line. BR dot read line. Yes. Whatever string like convert to integer by saying int I equal to integer dot parseInt. Whatever taken as string convert to integer by saying integer dot parseInt of S1. Enter the second number, right? Enter the second number. String S2 br dot read line integer equal to integer dot parseInt of S2. Integer dot parseInt of S2, right? Finally saying that system dot out dot println. System dot out dot println, right? Yes. Finally saying I plus j. So class sample, public static void main, input stream reader, buffer reader, system dot out dot println, enter the first number, string S1, int I equal integer dot parse int of S1, br dot readline, integer dot parse int of S2, system. Okay. So I'll just show you the execution in both Java and Python. You can just compare how simple the Python statements, right? Yes, just I'll write this same, separate notepad file. I'll just write this within the separate notepad. Yes, yes. File save. I'm just saving this within a separate 8 p.m. Yes, within the Python 8 p.m. Just I say like sample dot Java. Just say sample dot Java. Right, save it in Python 8 p.m. Just to go to the command prompt. Yes. Go to the command prompt, right, and say cd slash cd, right, cd Python, cd Python, right? Yes. Sorry. Python 8 p.m. cd Python 8 p.m. Right? Just say Java C, Java C sample dot Java, Java C sample dot Java, right? Say enter. One error, input stream reader, there is a typo in reader, right? Input stream reader, save it. Okay, now again I'll just say, just execute it. Java C sample dot Java. Now no error. Now say Java sample, Java sample. Enter the first number 10. Enter the second number 20. The sum is 30. Enter the second number, that is what? 30. Fine. Okay. Now this is what the code in Java. This is what the code in Java, right? Yes. This is what the code in Java. For the same task, right? For the same task, for the same code, I'll write that code in Python. See here, you got some complex statements like class, sample, public, static, void main, input stream reader, buffer reader, read line, parse int, right? And that too, if you see lot of complex words are there. And if you see the code, 10 to 12 lines of code, but the same code, but the same for the same task, I'll write in Python, not more than 3 lines, not more than 3 lines. Just directly I'll open this Python, right? Yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. Now just for the same thing, for the same task, right? I'll write in Python. You can just observe how simple the Python statements. Just observe how simple the Python statements, right? Yes. X equal to Y equal to, right? X. Input, enter value of X. Input, enter value of X. Enter value of X. Input, enter value of Y. Enter value of X, enter value of Y. Yes. Value of X, input, enter value of Y, right? Yes. Print X plus Y. That's it. This is the coding in Python, right? For the same code, for the same task, right? This was the coding in Python. Enter value of X, enter value of Y, print X plus Y. Save it. Yes. I'll in this Python 8 p.m. I'm saving a test like test1 dot py extension. Right? Now just enter value of X, whatever you're entering, taken as string, convert to int. Int of input, enter value of X. Int of input, enter value of Y. Enter value of X, input, enter value of Y. Right? Yes. Print X plus Y. Just run module. Right? Yes. Enter value of X 10, value of Y 20. Sum is 30, right? Enter value of X is 10, the value of Y is 20, sum is what? 30. So very simple, right? Very simple, right? Do you see any complex word here? Simple syntax is given by Python, but yes. Very less coding, easily understandable, looks like normal English statements, right? Now first, now I'll be just going with this. Before I go with Python installation, right? I'll just want to show you about Python software foundation and Python versions. Python software foundation, right? Python software foundation, right? PSF. PSF, right? Yes. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization, right? Devoted towards Python community, right? It's a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. See, it was launched PSF Python. It was launched in the year. It was launched in the year 2001. Was launched in the year 2001, right? Yes. And the main objective, right? The main objective to foster the development of Python, to foster the development of Python from version to version, right? To foster the development of Python. And to foster the develop and next is like in the year 2005, right? Python Software Foundation received, right? Computer World Horizon Award. It received Computer World Horizon Award. Received Computer World Horizon Award for the cutting edge technology. And the president, right? The president for this is Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum, right? Is the president for this Python Software Foundation. Is the same founder of Python headquarters, right? Delaware, like US, official website for Python. Official website for Python. Official website, right? www.python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we are going to. Okay. Is the official website from where we are going to download, from where we are going to install Python. Now just observe before I go with Python installation. Right. Python versions. Python versions. Python versions. Python 1. Okay, the first Python 1.x version. It was released in the year 1989. Yes. Python 2.x version, right? Python 2.x. The 2.x nothing but 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, right? 2.x version released in the year like 2000. And the Python 3.x version, Python 3.x version, right? It was released in the year 2008. The version what we are using currently is 2008. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python, right? Python 3.12, right? Yes. Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python. Python 3.10. Stable version is nothing but mostly used version. Stable version is nothing but here I'm writing mostly used version, right? Okay, next. Latest version of Python 3.12, stable version of Python 3.10, mostly used version. Next. Python installation. Just observe this Python installation. Okay. So before I go with installation, right? Yes, I'll be showing you step by step how to download and how to install Python. So I'm going to the settings, apps. First, I'll uninstall. First, I will uninstall and show you, right, how to download and how to install it step by step. So Python 3.12, just the latest version of Python. I'll uninstall this 3.12, right? Uninstall this, uninstall, right? So Python provides different softwares for different environments. For Windows, for Linux, and for Mac OS, right? It provides different software, right? And for especially for Linux, there is no need of any special installation, right? By default, Python comes as inbuilt within the Linux operating system. But for Windows or for Mac OS, we need to download and we need to install. Okay. And for Windows, right, we have Python providing two softwares for Windows 32 and for Windows 64-bit. If a Windows is 32-bit, then we need to download Python 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is 64-bit, if your Windows is 64-bit, we need to download 64-bit Python software, right? Yes. Mm, yes. So just uninstallation in progress. It was successful. How will you check whether Windows is 32-bit or 64-bit, right? Yes. Just right click and say explore, file explorer, right? This PC and say properties. So what it is saying, 4-bit operating system, 64-bit operating system. If it is 32-bit, you need to download 32-bit Python software. 64-bit, right? You need to download 64-bit Python software, right? Yes. Now, so just open this Chrome browser, right? And say www.python.org, the official website for Python, right? Yes. From where we can download it, right? Go to downloads, python.org, go to downloads, all releases, and just scroll down to the bottom. Active Python releases, not that. Go for specific release. Looking for a specific release, right? 3.12.1 on December 8, 2023, it was released. So almost like 1 month ago. So just click on this Python 3.12, right? And just scroll down to the bottom of this page, 3.12.1. You can see at the bottom, right? For Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit. If you're using Windows 7 or Windows 8, means if you've got 32-bit, if you've got Windows 64, right? Just click this Windows 64, right? Your download starts. Yeah, check this, your download started, right? Yes. Just it is 25 MB of size. Download completed. It's just 25 MB of size. It's just 25 MB of size. Just click the TXT file. Just click the TXT file, right? Yes. And just before you install, right? Just select this add Python to path. Add Python to path. Add Python to path variable of OS and go for customize installation. Go for what? Customize installation. And here just No need to select, so everything is going to get installed by default. See documentation pip ideally. So no need to select any of this, automatically everything will be checked. The next to here also nothing to select, everything they are selected by default. And see the installation location that where exactly you want to install it. So it is getting installed like in C, users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python 3.12, right? In C, users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python, right? Remove this big path, right? Remove this very big path. Remove this very big path, right? C slash Python 3.12, C slash what? Python 3.12, right? Yes. Python 3.12, right? Yes. Means within the C drive, Python 3.12, that is 3.12, a folder is going to get created. Within that, Python is going to get installed. Thank you. Setup is in progress. Just it hardly takes 30 seconds to install Python. Go to python.org website, go to downloads folder, and in that looking for a specific release, select Python 3.12.1, and in that scroll down to the bottom of that page and select Python 32-bit and 64-bit will be there. 64-bit, I download and install it. Setup was successful. Just say close. Yes. Setup was successful. Close it. Right. And okay. Now, how will you check whether it is successfully installed or not? How will you check whether your Python is successfully installed or not? Right. Just check this. Just type CMD in the search panel. It will go to the command prompt. Just type Python. If I type Python here, Python version has to be displayed that you have installed, and Python interpreter has to get opened, right? Just say enter. Python 3.12.1, the Python version has to be displayed, and the Python interpreter gets opened. Any valid Python statements you can type, right? 5 plus 2, 5 into 6, x as 10, y as 3. What is x? What is y? What is x into 2? What is x to the power of 2? 10 square 100. And x equal to Ajay, right? Y equal to Kumar, right? Y equal to Kumar, right? Just say what is x plus y, right? It prints what? Ajay Kumar. Ajay and Kumar, it prints what? Ajay Kumar, right? Yes. So just if you say quit, it will come out of this line. So Python is working fine. You can easily interact statement by statement. Statement by statement, you are interacting with Python, which you won't see in other programming, right? This kind of interaction you won't see in other programming. For every statement, it gives response. This is what we call interactive mode, right? So yes, just I was saying, right? Yes. Next is Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? Yes, Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. First one is interactive mode, right? Interactive mode. Second is batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode, right? Interactive mode here, We directly type here, we directly type Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements, right? Yes. On the interpreter. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact, with Python. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. So here we directly type the statements on it, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, right? What is the advantage we see in this interactive mode? Who doesn't know about any Python functionality, you can just type and check what output it is going to provide. Based on that, you can easily analyze that. Yes, what is it meant for? To test the functionalities of Python, advantage, right? To test the functionalities of Python, to test the functionalities of Python, and to learn Python, to test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. What is batch mode? Here, see, this interactive mode can't be used for developing applications, only for learning Python and to test the functionalities of Python. But we have got batch mode for developing applications. Here we write batch of statements. Here we write batch set of statements or batch of statements within the editors or IDEs, and save it by using .py extension. Save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python, right? Yes. Here we write set of statements within the editors or IDs. Save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. Okay. What are the various editors and what are the various IDEs? Integrated development environment, right? What are various editors where we can write the Python code, right? And create a .py file. Various editors, like within the notepad, we can write and we can create a .py file. Within the edit plus, within the VI editor and within the nano editor, right? No, within the notepad and edit plus, we can write this Python code, and within the VI and nano editors, right? We can write this Python code, right? Yes. And various IDEs. Various IDEs, right? So within the notepad and within the edit plus for Windows, VA and Nano for Linux environment, where we can write the Python code and create a .py files. Various IDEs means integrated development environment. Integrated development environment. We have got like different IDEs for Python, like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, right? Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook, VS Code, Okay. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one, right? Yes, mostly used one, right? You may ask why this many IDs for Python? Why this many IDs, right? Why this many IDs? Why not one or two IDs, right? So Python is used for different environments using different IDs. Like data science uses Jupyter Notebook, it uses Spider ID, even big data using Spider, Jupyter, typical web applications which uses PyCharm, VS Code, right? So in this way, different environments using different, right? Different environments are using different IDs. Yes, yes. So yes, among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. Yes, next, like developing the first Python application, right? Python application within a editor, right? Just example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements, right? Yes. So as of now, we didn't discuss anything about Python. Just I'll take two values like 10 and 20, right? And I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations, x plus y, print x minus y, print x into y, print x by y, right? Yes. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y, right? So just observe this addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Uh, Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Yes. So I'll just copy this to a separate notepad file. I'll just copy this to a separate notepad file. I'll copy this to separate notepad file, right? I'm pasting here, right? Yes. Save it. Py sample1 dot py and 8 p.m. batch. Fine. Now just observe this. Save by using sample1 dot py, and now submit this file. And now file to Python. Submit this file to Python as, and now submit this file to Python as open command prompt, and just open command prompt and just type Python and just give the path where it is available in C drive, right? In Python 8 p.m. In Python 8 p.m. right? Sample1 dot py. The file name, the folder, and the drive name, the folder, and the file name, right? Where exactly it is stored. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Okay, just type Python and just give, right? The file name, the folder name, and this drive name, right? Where exactly it is stored, right? Yes. Okay, fine. Understood, right? So here, but here you need to observe one thing, but here we are writing the code. Here we are writing the code at one place. Here we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. Here we are writing the code at one place. Where you are writing? Within the notepad. Within the notepad. And executing at the other place. You are writing the code at one place and executing at other place within the command prompt. And executing at other place, right? Within the command prompt. But to write and execute at the same place, but to write and execute at the same place, to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE. We have IDLE, right? Yes. We have IDLE, right? Which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation using which comes along with Python installation using which we can write and execute at the same place. We can write and execute at the same place, right? Yes. So just I opened a notepad. I have written these statements. Just addition, subtraction, multiplication. I saved it using it. All right. And I went to the command prompt, type Python and given the path, right? You will get this. But I want to write and execute at the same place. Writing the Python code, executing the code at the same place. We have IDLE, right? So just I'll take this code, two values and performing arithmetic operations. Now I'll write the same thing in IDLE in the same place and executing at the same place. In the search panel at the bottom, type IDLE. Type IDLE, right? Yes. Python 3.12, right? Then this Python shell gets open in this way, right? And say file, new file. Otherwise, another way of opening it, go to the start programs, check where your Python is available in this all apps. Go to P, and in this Python 3.12, the first thing we see is IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? Yes. Just this is what interactive mode, if you want to interact statement by statement, right? So it gives any valid, so 4 into 5, it gives output. But I doesn't want interactive mode. I want to work with batch mode, right? Say file, new file. Whenever you say file, new file, you can can write the code here itself. You can run the code here itself, right? Yes. Writing the code here itself. First save it and run it. Save. right? Python 8 p.m., right? And say sample2.py, right? Now say run module. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Writing the code here itself and run executing the code here itself, right? 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Yes. So later I'll show you how to run this, how to install, how to download and how to install IDEs and how to write the code and execute the code within the IDEs. Now I'll discuss about data types. Just I'll take 10-15 minutes more. 10-15 minutes like where I'll just give introduction to this. Python data types. Python data types and variables. Python data types and variables, right? Every organization, if we talk about every organization, right? Every organization use case has got data and operations, has got data and operations. Data represented, right? Yes. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions, right? Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data by using data types or variables, operations using functions. Data, okay, every organization has got data and operations. For example, any organization, for example, like a bank, right? Bank has got data and operations like customer data and employee data operations, customer and employee operations. Customer data like customer name, account number, address, balance, branch. Operations like deposit operation, withdraw operations, transfer operations. So data like using data types or variables, operations using functions. Right? Yes. So just observe this. I'll take just 10 minutes more. So if we talk about this data types, comparison with C, C++, or Java. Python comparison with other programming like C, C++, Java. Python supports dynamic data types. It supports dynamic data types. In other programming language, if you want to create a variable like x equal to 10, we say like int x, y equal to 4.5. Compulsory, we need to say like float y. Z equal to hello, right? We say like string z equal to hello, right? X equal to 10, y equal to 4. Without this data type defining, we cannot create the variables x, y, and z. If So observe here, if you want to create the variables x, y, z, compulsory we need to define these data types. Without this data type defining, right? Without this data type defining, we cannot create the variables x, y, z. But in Python, directly we can say like x has 10, y has 4.5, z has hello, right? X has 10, y has 4.5, and z has hello, right? Yes. This data type defining and saying z is string. So x, y, and z. Okay. So here, okay, dynamic data types. But here we no need to, what kind of variable x is means what value you have assigned to it. If you assigned an integer, integer variable is created based upon what value assigned to x. Based on the value assigned, the variable x is created dynamically, right, during runtime. So there is a function called type of x. Type of x is int. Why it is int? Because you have assigned a integer value. Type of y is what type? Float type, because you have assigned a float value. Type of z is what type? It's a string type, because you have assigned a string value. So depending upon what value you are assigning, right, based on the value assigned, the variables are created dynamically here in Python, right? Yes. Okay. To understand much better on this, right, I'll be discussing some cases here, right? Let's try to understand. Just case one, whenever you are defining like x equal to 10, internally one object gets created with value 10. It's going to be stored at some address, memory address. This assume this is the address. This address is given to x. Whenever I say print x, just before that, right? Say what x is storing. Don't say x is storing 10. X stores this address. If I say print x, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. That is 10. Print id of x. Prints the address of x. 103070. Print okay, type of x, right? Prints the data type. Prints the data type of x. Data type of x is what type? Into type. Print x prints the content at the address. Print the address of x, the address, right? Where exactly it is stored. Type of x prints the data type of x, right? Printing the content, printing the address, and printing the type. That is case. Observe this case two, right? 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 I'm defining like x is 10, x is 10, y is 20. Now everyone, you can just unmute yourself and try to give your responses. From here onwards, right? I want the session to be interactive. Keep responding that whether your answers are correct or wrong. X equal to 10, y equal to 20. How many objects will be created? For 10, one object with some address. is stored at so and so address. Y equal to 20, one more object with some address. This address is given to Y. Now, if I say like print X, now try to respond. What is the X value it prints? Print X. Yes, everyone can unmute yourself and try to give a response, or through chat panel, you can just provide your response, right? Yes. Print X, print 10, right? Yes, try to respond. Address of X, right? 103070, right? Print type of X, data type of X. What you have assigned to X, integer, right? Into type. Print Y. Print Y is what? 20. Print address of Y, ID of Y, right? 104090. Yes. Just print type of Y. Type of Y is what type? Into type, right? Yes. So two different variables, X and Y, with two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses, right? Yes. Print X, two different, okay. So yes. So tomorrow also there is a session, right? At the same time at 8 o'clock, using the same link. You see more as a continuation to this demos, right? Tomorrow we can just attend the demo tomorrow also. But after tomorrow's session, the link is going to change. You are supposed to get enrolled, right? Yes. Now X value is 10, Y is 10, X is 10 and Y is 10. Try to answer how many objects will be created here. Everyone, try to just say how many objects are going to get created here. X is 10 and Y is 10. How many objects? Observe here, only one object is going to get created. Here only one object is going to get created, right? Only one object. Same address is given to X and Y. The same address is given to X and Y. X, Y, because before creating object for Y, okay, X equal to one object created. Before creating the object for Y, it checks, it checks X is 10, Y is 10. Even if Z is 10, right? If the content is same, only one object, only one address. X, Y, and Z, they are sharing the same content. They're saying the same address, right? Print X means 10. Print X and print Y and print Z. They are going to print the same thing. That is what? 10. Address, right? Print address of X, address of Y, and address of Z. They are going to print the same address. Okay, fine. So more discussion on this will be continuing in the tomorrow session, same time at 8 o'clock, using the same link to see more on this one. So tomorrow class you can attend, but from Monday session, next class will be on Monday. After tomorrow's class, next class will be on Monday. The link will be changing. You need to get enrolled, right? So fine. So I'm stopping here. Any queries you got, anyone? Anyone, if you got any queries? Fine. So I'm stopping here. We'll continue tomorrow. Right? Fine.